Patrick King, The Science of Getting Started, How to Beat Procrastination, Summon Productivity, and Stop Self-Sabotage. Struggling against the invisible force of procrastination? You're not alone. Patrick King's The Science of Getting Started takes a deep dive into the psychology behind procrastination, revealing it as a complex behavioral cycle that everyone faces. This book isn't just about outing procrastination, it dissects its underlying causes and effects, as well as the mental battles we contend with daily, like impulse versus rational thought. Through relatable scenarios and practical strategies like the HALT method and the 2-minute rule, the book arms you with actionable tools to reclaim your productivity. Expect to discover how motivation isn't a prerequisite for action, but rather, often follows it, and learn to structure your days to ward off the sneaky traps of delays. Here, you'll find a path towards understanding your procrastination habits and steps to overcome them, boosting your productivity and paving the way toward achieving your goals.
Breaking the procrastination habit. Picture yourself lounging comfortably on your couch, aware of the looming tasks that demand your attention, yet inexplicably you reach for the TV remote instead. This isn't just about being lazy, it's a deeply ingrained human habit that has danced around us since ages past. Procrastination, derived from the Latin roots meaning to put off till tomorrow, is a cycle that begins early in life. Think swapping homework time for building a Lego masterpiece. Diving into this phenomenon reveals a 5-stage procrastination cycle that traps us in a loop: unhelpful assumptions, creating discomfort, making excuses, engaging in avoidance activities, and finally, dealing with consequences. For example, you might tell yourself that because life is fleeting, you should savor it, leading to discomfort when chores like car washing pop up. This discomfort then births excuses. A beautiful day that's too warm becomes a reason to skip it, yet you'll gleefully spend the time cleaning the bathroom instead. While seemingly productive, the core task remains unfinished, and the cycle restarts. Here lies the everyday duel between impulsive desires and rational decision-making. Your brain, a battlefield of sorts, houses this conflict. The limbic system is the quick-to-act, pleasure-seeking section, while the prefrontal cortex is the slower, rational part responsible for planning and logical thinking. With impulsivity often winning out by shooting dopamine into our systems, simple distractions can spiral into hours wasted online. This impulsivity mirrors behaviors typical in ADHD, where immediate wants overshadow future success. To regain control, consider the HALT approach. Examine if you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, states that can cloud judgment and foster poor choices. Alleviating these can empower you to reclaim the reins of your productivity. Furthermore, scrutinize the deficiencies in 9 key traits contributing to procrastination. These include handling impulses, inhibition, being conscious of your actions, self-monitoring, planning, task transitions, activity shifting, task initiation, progress tracking, task monitoring, regulating emotions, sustaining working memory, and maintaining orderliness. Each plays a role in keeping procrastination at bay. With these insights, it's time to confront your own habits. What justifications are you crafting to avoid your responsibilities? Reflect on whether short-lived indulgences are sabotaging your broader aspirations. By untangling these complex dynamics and questioning your patterns, you hold the key to transcending the procrastination cycle and striving toward meaningful change. Igniting productivity. Picture yourself at a crossroads, aware of what needs to be done yet feeling stuck amid a whirlwind of choices and distractions. This common struggle with indecision and inaction often gives birth to procrastination. To rise above this challenge, cultivate a mindset that encourages taking action and counteracts the alluring siren of procrastination. Consider how Newton's laws of motion mirror our behaviors. When you're at rest, you'll remain there unless something jolts you into movement. Initiating that first step can be the hardest yet most crucial part. A simple yet powerful tactic is the 2-minute rule. When a task crosses your mind, launch into it within 2 minutes. This breaks the inactivity and propels you into momentum. For instance, if you need to draft a report, start by scribbling down its title and objectives. It's a minor task, but a mighty step toward overcoming inertia. Next, reflect on the direction of your efforts. Just as directed force accelerates an object, concentrated focus propels you toward task completion. If you juggle multiple tasks, responding to emails, reviewing a research plan, and drafting a recommendation letter, you'll achieve scant progress by switching between them. Channel your attention on one task at a time to maximize productivity. Newton's third law, the interplay between actions and reactions, illustrates life's dance between positive and negative influences. Productivity relies on advancing positive elements like motivation and a conducive environment, while minimizing detractors such as stress and distractions. To enhance your efficiency, maybe relocate to a quieter spot or tactfully request colleagues for some silence if you find yourself in a noisy setting. Another productivity trap is the paradox of choice. An overload of options can immobilize decision-making, fostering procrastination. Imagine deliberating over multiple research grants to apply for. The quest for the perfect choice may result in stalling outright. Set defined decision-making parameters, focus on a couple of key factors, impose a time constraint, and pick a default option as a fallback. This clarity alleviates mental fatigue and propels you forward. Embrace the concept that motivation often trails action. The common belief is to wait for motivation to strike before beginning, which can freeze you in perpetual inaction. Simply start, even if it's a small segment of a larger project, and observe motivation naturally growing as progress becomes visible. Reluctant to tackle a project? Just dive into a minor task. As your work advances, motivation will amplify, easing your continuation. When facing a stalemate in future tasks, remember these strategies. Embark on small beginnings to spark movement, purposefully direct your focus, harmonize life's productive and unproductive forces, simplify your choices, and let your actions fuel motivation. What will your first step be today to dissolve procrastination and unleash your productivity? Momentum over motivation. You're facing a looming deadline, but instead of diving into your project, you wait for that perfect moment of inspiration that never seems to come. Here's the truth successful individuals understand: motivation isn't something that magically appears. Instead, they create motivation by taking action. When you start with a simple, manageable step, you set the wheels in motion for greater productivity. Picture creating a presentation. Commence by jotting down just the titles for your slides. This minor victory introduces momentum, making the larger task less daunting. Consider your work like a Japanese tea ceremony, where the focus is on each deliberate step rather than the final product. By breaking tasks into smaller parts and dissolving them over manageable time intervals, you avoid feeling overwhelmed. And importantly, letting go of past procrastinations is crucial. Lingering on guilt does nothing but pull you back. The focus should shift towards identifying solutions rather than dwelling on problems. To overcome procrastination entirely, you must also tackle omission bias, the challenge of recognizing what you lose through inaction. It's much easier to see the damage of eating unhealthy food than it is to recognize the repercussions of skipping exercise. By vividly imagining the future challenges that your delay might cause, you incentivize action. Think further about your future self's emotions. Will you experience pride or regret depending on your decision to act? By empathizing with your future self, readying yourself to benefit now for a better tomorrow becomes second nature. Another technique to solidify your resolve is to employ if-then statements, an invaluable strategic tool. Pre-decide that if a particular event occurs, you'll implement a specific action. Picture this: if the clock hits 3 p.m., that's your cue to start the task at hand. By anchoring your objectives to specific daily moments, you reduce the reliance on sheer willpower, as the plan is in place ahead of time. The science speaks for itself. Individuals utilizing these pre-planned strategies are significantly more successful, as it obliterates indecision during critical moments. In your battle against procrastination, capitalize on these strategies. Kickstart with a straightforward initial step. immerse yourself in processes without fixating on the end goal, and forgive past delays. Visualize the repercussions of inaction and empathize with your future self, implementing if-then plans to anchor your actions. The question is, what small step will you take today to edge closer to accomplishing your task? Mastering daily productivity. Imagine waking up to a day where each moment is poised for achievement. By structuring your day with intention, you sidestep the stealthy intrusions of procrastination. The secret lies in crafting a thoughtful schedule that nudges you closer to your objectives, one tiny step at a time. Start by banishing the dreaded 0 day, a period, be it an hour, a day, or a week, devoid of any forward movement towards your goals. Commit to making at least one small advancement daily. Whether it's jotting down 2 sentences for a project or reading a single paragraph for research, each action interrupts the cycle of procrastination and threads a series of productive days together. Interrogate procrastination with strategic questioning. When delay tempts you, ask, what is one small action I can take to begin? What are my 3 main priorities for today? How can I simplify this task? What ramifications will arise if I postpone this? These inquiries slice tasks into manageable pieces, spotlight your priorities, and inject urgency by weighing potential consequences of inaction. A detailed schedule transforms an ordinary day into a blueprint for success. Don't leave your day to spontaneity, instead, pre-plan your tasks, assigning specific times, gathering necessary resources, and pinpointing locations for each activity. For example, utilize time before a 10 a.m. meeting to complete another task. This foresight equips you to glide smoothly from one engagement to the next, avoiding time wastage. Embrace your calendar as a vital tool, accounting for all 168 hours in a week. Knowing exactly what you should focus on at any given time heightens efficiency and minimizes distractions. This disciplined approach keeps you aligned with your objectives. Bear in mind the impact of information overload. While digesting information often feels like progress, it can veer into procrastination. Be mindful of time spent on media, social platforms, books, or TV. Trim down on content that doesn't align with your goals. By lessening informational noise, you streamline your efforts towards what genuinely matters. Pause and evaluate your habits. Notice how easily time slips away on social media or during TV marathons. What minor actions can you implement today to prevent a 0 day from occurring? By organizing your day thoughtfully, posing critical questions, structuring tasks, and curtailing distractions, you enhance your ability to manage time and accomplish your aims.
We've journeyed through the intricacies of why we delay, offering a roadmap for reclaiming control over our productivity. The science of getting started distills mounds of psychology into digestible actions and poignant reflections, empowering you to decode and dismantle the limitations procrastination imposes. King underscores that motivation is born from action, not the other way around. He empowers us to restructure our days to outlaw 0 days and employ practical tactics like leaning on if-then planning to cement our ambitions into reality. Ultimately, success is less about waiting for a spark of inspiration and more about creating momentum through small, deliberate steps. By viewing procrastination through this scientifically backed lens, you're equipped not only to circumvent its pitfalls but to transform your productivity paradigm entirely. As you integrate these insights into your routine, reflect, what small action can you take today to propel yourself toward a more productive tomorrow?